And y'all, I came in to talk about the mass shooting at the elementary in Uvalde, Texas. Y'all, I just got finished watching the news and I can't even believe this. This is the just the saddest story. And in the last couple of weeks, we had 10 people killed at a supermarket. And then the very next week, all of these babies killed. This is crazy. I'm gonna tell you this as I'm sitting here watching this, I give the parents that are able to come on and do these interviews, I give them all the credit in the world, tip my hat to them because I don't think I would be able to do it, you know? Because the thought of what went on in that school, the fear, because let's face it, these babies were second, third, and fourth graders. So it probably took them a minute to even realize exactly what was happening to them. And then the fear that probably set in as they watched their classmates and their teacher being shot. And then the kids that survived it. You know, these lawmakers already saying this is not the time to talk politics when they're being asked about gun control. You know what I say to that, y'all? If not now, when? We keep on having these mass shooting events. And the sad part about it is America is always talking about how we're that light shining on it, beacon on a hill. We're the only place in the world that this happens on a regular basis, because we got all these guns. And a lot of these politicians are so caught up with the NRA getting kickbacks, payouts, and all kinds of things that they don't want to stop their money coming in. So for them, it's money over bodies. I do not understand how a young man who turned 18 one day and then the very next day he went out and bought all these weapons and ammunition. Now, think about it, y'all. He can't drink legally, but he can go buy a gun, weapons, and ammunition, shoot his grandmother in the face, take her car, and then go do what he did at that school. And I'm watching all of this stuff about the parents saying that the police should have rushed in. And I was getting a little angry, y'all, because let me just say this. Those parents know what they saw. They know when they arrived on the scene what was going on. So for them to even bring this up, something that they saw wasn't right. Imagine because this is a little small town, that you hear that this is going on. You rush to the school, and they said this boy was in there 40 to 60 minutes, and the police are outside, and then they start hearing all these gunshots. Now, I look at it this way. The police said that when they started hearing the shots, they called for backup. They had weapons. When that boy went into the school, those second, third, and fourth graders and those teachers, they didn't have any weapons. So you mean to tell me they backed off the police or didn't rush in and they had weapons knowing that the people that would be in that building who are teachers and little kids, because this is an elementary school, that they didn't. You know, the people in that building were defenseless. At least the police did have some guns. So, in other words, you don't put yourself in harm's way, but you know those people in that building are defenseless. I don't know. I am getting quite angry listening to these parents say that they wanted to rush in, that they asked the police, give us your guns, give us your vests. We'll go in to save our babies. That is heartbreaking. I cannot even imagine when my daughter was in elementary school, something like this playing out, and I'm there. So, in other words, those parents stood out there and listened to their children being killed. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. And then prior to that, the week before, the guy that went into the grocery store shot up all those people, killed them, injured people hiding in freezers and behind, grocery aisles. My God, what is it coming to out here now? It's gotten to the point where, not that I'm out in the streets like, I was when I was younger, but it's gotten to the point where I try to get everything I need to do done by 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning, no later than noon, and get my butt back in the house. And even with that, you're not guaranteed to return home safely. Those little kids went to school that morning, and those people at the grocery store went to the grocery store doing normal everyday tasks, going grocery shopping and going to school, never imagining that they weren't going to come home that day. I thought about the little girl that she had won honor roll that morning, and her cute little face holding up her little honor roll, little certificate. I remember when my daughter was that age and she won one of those little certificates. I think I still have it here packed away somewhere. And how happy she was and how proud of herself. Only in this little girl in Uvalde's case, the Uvalde, Texas case, a couple hours later, that little girl was dead. And then as a mom, I imagine that some of them did not die right away, that their little bodies laid there and suffered in their last minutes of life, probably calling out for their moms. Oh God, oh God. And then they say one little girl, she tried to call 911 to get help, and she was killed. The average fourth grader is what, 10 years old? Third grade, you're 9. Second grade, you're 7 or 8. I have clothes older than that, pieces of clothing, furniture older than what they were. They really need to do something about gun control. I saw something on Facebook, and it said something like, if we just follow the rules that we follow when we're getting our license, you know, our driver's license, you got to get it renewed every 4 years. You got to take an eye test. You got to do this, that, and the other. You know, it something. They act like, these lawmakers act like, and we know why they're doing it, but this is what kills me. It's really nothing we can do. There's so many guns, blah, 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 arm the teachers. Do something. Try something, because this keeps happening. The day after these children were killed at this Robb Elementary School, another teenage boy in Texas was caught trying to carry in a rifle into his school. This is ridiculous. I don't want to be on here for long, but after watching this on and off throughout the day, I'm sick for those little kids because the inaction of some adults in Washington cost them their little young lives. They had nothing to do with they have nothing to do with what's going on in Washington. In their little world is kickball and games and cartoons and all of that. But because of the inaction of politicians, their young lives were taken from them. Like they're never going to go to prom. They're never going to graduate. They're never going to go away to college. They're never going to get married, have children. As I said at the beginning of my video, I tip my hat to those parents of those children who are able to stand there, give interviews. Now, don't get me wrong, they're crying and all of that, but y'all, I don't even know if I would be able to stand knowing or imagining the fear that my child must have felt when all of this was going on. And then what they took those parents through. They said some of those parents waited to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning just to find out if their child was alive. That's torture too, on top of the trauma that they went through knowing what happened in the school. So you don't even know if your child is a survivor. Oh my God. There was a paramedic, I believe, that showed up and he was working on his daughter's friend only to find out that his daughter was one of the ones that was killed. We got to do better, y'all. We are in a state here in the United States that in my 57 years on this earth, I've not seen it this bad. Everywhere you turn, everywhere, everything is messed up, even to baby milk, y'all. Come on. What is going on? I don't know. I'm going to get out of here, but I just wanted to come in and talk about that because I have cried so much today, y'all, that I actually was getting a headache. I had to turn it off for a little while, but I feel guilty because you think about those babies and what they endured, and you're like, if those little bodies could go through that, I could watch it for a few minutes to understand how this happened. And you know they're not going to do anything, those folks in Washington. Like people are posting all on social media. Thoughts and prayers. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. We tired of hearing about thoughts and prayers. Do something. And with that, y'all, thanks for listening to my video as always. You guys take care and be safe out there. Because, shit is crazy right now. Take care now. Bye-bye.